Yeah, let the big dog hunt. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Philly Pulse, your city sports beat with your host, Joe Staszak, right over there. My co-host, Sean Lochner, T
Hi,
minus
buddy.
one day. One day is, it's actually about 1 day and 2 hours until kickoff of Super Bowl 59. How are you, my friend?
Good. The bakery was busy as anything
I
today.
love, I love those footballs you were cranking out.
How about that? A little rye bread footballs.
That was pretty
Pretty interesting.
cool.
Yeah, it was. Some of them. Our baker. He's very talented. The way that he laid the dough for the laces, the way that it baked, it looks like the laces are like
Woven in.
into
That's really
it.
cool.
Yeah, yeah, which is kind of cool. So, um, yeah, it's the Super Bowl Eve, man. Brandon Graham
Your boy,
activated.
Brandon Graham is activated. Any
I'm
other
making
news?
chili tonight for tomorrow.
What's
Getting
that?
the wing. I'm making chili tonight. Getting the wings ready tonight.
Yep, everyone's doing their thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's because I'm doing a
I have
piece
a
on
glass of whiskey tonight, Joe.
it's a Philly thing. You wouldn't understand pretty
Yeah.
much. Most
No,
people
for
wouldn't
sure.
understand the religion that is this football team in this town. And I'm going to do a piece. I'm cutting a piece for tomorrow's pregame. So it'll be out on heavy.com. We'll send it to you, send it to the masses. We got a special guest today. Special guest today runs the Eagles Nest in Minneapolis, and you were part of that crew. Tell us what that crew was like when you were out there living there.
Yeah. So it's funny. I stumbled across it. Remember the Twitter video that I showed you with Ada singing "Fly Eagles Fly" to Maggie when
Yes,
she was born,
sure.
and it went viral on ABC. Um, all of a sudden, a guy that I went to high school with messaged me and he said, "Hey, are you living in Minnesota?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm going to introduce you to this guy by the name of Jimmy Bacon. He runs a group out there and he saw the piece about your daughter and he wants you to join the group."
Nice.
So that's how I got into the group. I got introduced to it. And it was fun. I mean, it was like hanging out with it was like going home to Philly about 45 minutes away from the house.
That's really cool.
And it was just there was people that were from Philadelphia that moved to Minnesota, people that were just fans of the Eagles because you know how the NFL is. Um, it was awesome. It was really, really cool. So, like today, like you said, it's a Philly thing. Not everybody understands.
If you're not from here, you wouldn't quite get it.
Yeah, so we thought it would be a great idea to bring Mike on, and we were hoping to get another group as well. Um,
Well, Mike's waiting on us, so why don't we bring him in?
yeah, let's do that. Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay,
And Josh just texted me too, so
and what'd he say?
he just I told him he sent you the link, so I'll get him. Why don't you bring Mike in?
Oh, okay. This is Mike Gant from the Eagles Nest in Minneapolis joining the show. It says Trisha Gant, I believe that's his wife. And we're going to see Mike in a second. There he is. There he
There he
is.
is.
Oh, Kelly greened up. Hello, Mike Gant.
Hey, how we doing?
How you doing, bud? I'm Joe Staszak, Sean Lochner up top. I'm not sure how we're assigned on your laptop, but how you doing, my friend? Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, Minnesota. Tell us about what you got going on. The Eagles Nest. Where's the Eagles Nest going to be tomorrow?
So we're gonna be at Dave and Buster's in Edina. We've been going there for a few years now. We were there in 2022, but looking for a different outcome. Um, we got about 50 confirmed right now.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's
And
awesome.
and what do you kind of reserve a room?
Yeah, so there's a party room that they have in the back. They kind of open up the two rooms for us. And 2022, I'd say we had about 100 people there, so it was great.
How do you get to be part of this group? I mean, you have to be a member, right?
Yeah, so the group we actually formed the group in about 2018, after our first Super Bowl. It got, I would say, disbanded and rebuilt a couple times.
Mhm.
And we came up with the Twin Cities Philadelphia Eagles fan club in 2022. So we were all together for that season. And then that Super Bowl, Dave and Buster's was the main spot. We started at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Um, and we've been getting together ever since. This year, Dave and Buster's did a remodel, so we hopped around, went to few different places, Roseville, Bloomington, and then come NFC Championship game, they were ready to have us back. So we we watched the NFC Championship game there, and then now we're gonna cheer the boys on in the Super Bowl there.
Nice. So, Mike, are you originally from Philadelphia and you made your way out to Minnesota? What's the story? How did we become an Eagles fan?
So I was born in Cherry Hill,
Oh, okay.
um, moved to Minnesota in the early 90s. But obviously Randall Cunningham was my first quarterback I ever fell in love with. And just over the years watching this franchise and how they work and how they rebuild. I wasn't here through all the heartbreak, in the 70s and 80s, but I definitely have heard about it. But just how this franchise rebuilds and how strong they are, and I love it. It's a passion to me.
Strong as they are, it's like the bond that kind of is woven in between Eagles fans and um, you said you were born in Cherry Hill, and my whole piece tomorrow is you're born into it. You're born into this. I mean, I guess you can transition into it maybe if you come here and maybe your spouse or whatever, but really you kind of have to grow up living it from your adolescent years. And most of the people out in the Eagles Nest out there, are they transplants from Philly? Are they kind of like, were they born into it?
A lot of them are most are from the Philadelphia area, but there's a good contingency of Minnesotans that are Eagles fans just because they see what we're doing. You know who they have to cheer for out here, so a lot of a lot of fans would jump ship. Um,
So weird.
it is.
They actually jump ship?
Maybe I don't know if I would say jump ship, but like you said, spouses. My wife being one, she was a Vikings fan, but she sees this empire. We've been together for 10 years, so we've been married for 10 years, so we've been together for 14 now. So when we first got together, those were Chip Kelly days and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
she's come to love the Eagles. And then I do have friends that I wouldn't say jump ship, but yeah, just they know what the Eagles are bringing, and they don't want to cheer for who they have out here.
That's so
Really?
funny.
Really?
My son actually he still lives out in Minnesota. He lives in Albertville. And he's actually going to be in Philly. I fly out Thursday to go pick them up, my kids, and bring them back to Philly because they're going to spend the weekend here, and then they typically spend the summers here. But Brooks is divided as well. He's more Eagles than Vikings because of his old man, but he's a huge Justin Jefferson fan, and I mean he's really excited about this week, and we have a pending storms, should I say, coming. I know you have a storm right now as we speak, but he's hoping that the parade gets pushed to Friday so he can go.
Right.
So we're pretty confident over here. What about yourself, Mike?
Oh yeah. I mean, the confidence is, how can you not be with what we have on this team? I mean, these guys, that crew up front, that offensive line, how about those boys up front?
Hmm.
And then with Saquon and Jalen Hurts, and I could go on and keep going. AJ, Devontae, Dallas Goddard, how can you not be confident? Got a tough opponent, but I don't care who the opponent would be. I'm very, very excited for these guys, man.
Oh, that's great. That's
So what
awesome.
what
So,
happens what happens with a victory tomorrow? What do you guys all do at Dave and Buster's? Do you disperse? And I mean, it's not going to be like a huge contingent in the streets of Minneapolis. It would be down Broad Street. But what would you guys do if they win tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm gonna go back to 2017 because there was a big contingency here in Minnesota because
Wow.
we won it. Well, we won it. I mean, it was a lot of people from Philly because we won it at that stadium,
Right.
Stadium.
That's true.
Uh,
Right.
yeah, yep. So this time I don't know. We're gonna go crazy. It's it's in a mall in Edina, so hopefully we can take our fun outside of that mall. Otherwise, I don't know
good
what
old
they're gonna
Southdale Mall. Joe, that's the first mall ever in America.
do. Wow.
Southdale Mall.
Wow.
Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, they have outdoor walks, don't they? Like encased in glass because of the
No, Paul,
temperature.
yes, the city of Minneapolis, as well as St. Paul. Yeah, they do have the skyways, is
I
what they
thought
call
that was pretty cool. When I was there in 2010 when the Eagles beat Minnesota and lost to the Cardinals the following week. I thought that was pretty cool. It's freezing out there, so you walk and see people walking like in these glass encasements across the streets from connecting sky. It was cool. It was
Yeah,
cool.
it's cool, but it's actually, I mean, Mike, would you agree? I mean, Minneapolis, nobody walks the streets anymore because they just go from building to building through those skyways. So it leads to unfortunate, easier crime and things of that nature. So as great as it is for the wintertime, it makes people lazy during the summer. So at least that's what I remember from my 10 years there. So,
So in the summertime, they'll go through the buildings too.
oh yeah, yeah, it's just easier. It's just
Yeah.
easier. So, but I don't know. Minnesota is one of it's probably the most gorgeous state during the summertime by far.
It
It's
is
just,
beautiful. Yeah, I've been there.
I
It's
mean,
beautiful in the summer.
yeah, it's just absolutely gorgeous. So,
So you
but
excited? You excited, Mike? I mean, how's the tension? How's the angst? Where are the nerves? How's the locker room over there?
Man, I mean, they're on 10, definitely on Super Bowl Eve, as I'm calling it. It's a holiday in the house. Just so confident. And then I guess maybe as game time gets closer, the nerves will start to build up. But I mean, for these last 2 weeks, I've just been smiling. I've just been, been grinning. Out here, I wanted to touch on how much we are hated in Minnesota. We stole their destiny in 2017, and we're so mean. And you know what? They don't like us. We don't care.
yeah,
But
it's true.
Stole it.
it's
It was like 38-7. I mean, come on, they weren't even wasn't even much of a game.
not even. No, they forgot who their rivals are here. They forgot that they hate Green Bay and Chicago and whatever. They
They
hate.
didn't even win a playoff game. They won 15 games this year and didn't win a playoff game. It's
Yeah.
on. How about that, right?
Only
Yeah.
time I rooted for the Vikings was when Randall was on that team.
I loved
Good
when
year.
Randall was on that team. Just throw it along to
And,
Moss
and
or
my heart broke
Carter.
for him too, just like he was an Eagle. But
Totally.
yeah.
Totally. Well, we appreciate you coming on, Mike. You got a family, you got your crew going with you tomorrow?
Yeah, we got actually I think we're gonna let the little ones go to grandma's for the evening. So this is gonna be just, they watch every game with us, but I think this one's gonna be just for the adults.
Okay. Good for you, man. You got a final score for us?
I think I'm gonna go 34-28 birds, baby.
Gosh, I had 35, 34, 27. Nice stuff. Nice stuff, Mike.
Cool.
Good
Mike, thanks
stuff.
for joining us, man.
Yeah, one thing before I go,
Yeah, man.
gotta blow the whistle,
All
guys.
right, blow that whistle. Nicely done, bro.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
pal.
it. Thanks
Appreciate
for
it. We
All
got
having
right,
me.
another.
Mike. Good luck, bud.
Good
I'll
luck.
talk to
Go
you later.
Birds.
Thanks for
All right,
joining
take
us.
care,
Go
guys.
Birds.
Go birds.
Take care, bud. See ya.
Later.
Awesome.
That was cool. Mike
Perfect.
Gant from Minneapolis joining us today. If he can, I'm going to bring in Josh Stewart. Mike, if you can X out yourself so I can bring in Josh, I appreciate it, pal, and good luck. Send us some pictures if you can, if you have
Yeah,
time.
please do. Please do.
Will
Okay.
do. Will do. Thanks
That'd
a
be
lot,
great,
guys.
Thanks,
man.
man.
All
Take
right.
care,
Post
buddy.
them. Thanks, pal. See ya. All right, good stuff. We got Josh Stewart coming in now. Josh Stewart, he's in Utah.
Utah. This one intrigued me. So it was interesting. So all of a sudden, we'll shape up why Josh joins us here. So I started seeing this thing come across about Eagles of Utah, and they have this big, huge watch party. And I was just like, how the hell is there a shit ton of Eagles fans out in Utah? So I just took
Hey,
a crack, Joe, and started making comments, started putting the podcast in there, and we got a hold of Josh. And both of us, I'm sure we got a lot of questions. And
Utah, give me two. What's up, my
Hey,
brother? How you doing,
how's it going,
man?
man?
How
I'm
are
doing
you?
great. I'm great. Great day being Eagles fan, bro.
What do you got for us tomorrow? You got your watch party? Are you an Eagles nester? What's your group called?
It's Philadelphia Eagles fans of Utah. I just sent out there on Facebook on my page that I was going to be trying to host an Eagles party at this place called Leatherheads in Draper. It's like South Salt Lake. Yeah. So I should
nice.
I should be having like I had a couple phone calls from some people that have got a hold of me through the page. And then a bunch of my buddies are going to come out. There should be, I hope for a big turnout, but so far I'm seeing like 50 people or so far.
Nice. Yeah. So we just had Mike, who runs the Eagles Nest of Minnesota. He was on, and
All
he
right.
got roughly around the same number. But you never know. I mean, us Eagles fans, we like to linger and eventually show up. So, Josh, tell me,
Right.
so were you originally from the Philadelphia area and you moved to Utah, or?
I'm not. I'm born and raised here. I'm actually
Oh,
from a little town in the middle of the state called Richfield, Utah. Nobody's ever heard of it, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
so
Uh, and I moved up to Salt Lake about 15 years ago, and this is where I've been ever since.
nice. So, how did you become an Eagles fan?
Uh, you know, funny story. Eighth grade field trip. They took us out to the East Coast. We went to DC, New York, and Philly just resonated with me, man. And I loved everything about that city, man. It stuck with me. You know
That's
what I
great.
mean? And so out here, we don't have a team. So you're either going to be a Cowboys fan, you're going to be a Denver Broncos fan, or a Raiders fan, and I'm not doing any of that, man. So I started watching, about 98, 99, around that time when after I got back from Philly when Dougie P was the quarterback, and I
Mhm.
loved him, man. I was a diehard from then out.
From then out, why? What attracted you to that team? Because they were struggling right about then. They were turning the corner because Andy got there, and then Donovan McNabb was drafted. But there were some
Right.
rough years in there.
There was, like I said, the when I visited Philly, the people resonated with me. I loved the atmosphere, everything about that city, and everything that's good comes from Philadelphia, man. From what I've seen in my whole life, and plus, my brother's a cheesehead, and he hated Philadelphia, and that helped fuel me too.
So you had a little rivalry with him a couple weeks ago when the Green Bay came to town.
Yeah, yeah. He said, "Yeah, you're gonna lose. I have to put you on suicide watch, man." all that stuff, and I was like, "Dude, it ain't happening, bro. We're gonna put the brakes on you," and we did too.
Dude, they fumbled on the first play of the game.
Right. I was laughing.
One of four turnovers on the day. That's great stuff. Great stuff, man. So, you excited? How the Yanks? How's the nerves? What's the vibe?
The vibe here is good, man. I mean, I have the last time we were in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, I got stuck at this house party with a bunch of Chiefs fans, dude, and it was miserable. And they just kept throwing it in my face, and I'm not doing that this year. I'm swarming that Leatherheads with as many Eagles fans as I can, and we're gonna ball out for sure. Vibe's good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Josh, what do you typically do? Like, what's your typical game day? Like, what do you typically do? Like, what types of food do you like? Give me a day in the life in the Eagles game for Josh.
It usually just sit at home and watch it on the TV. I got the NFL ticket. I never miss a game. Like
Sure.
there's yeah. I mean, even if I have to work on a Sunday by random chance, I'll have it on my phone. Um, and I started the page, trying to find maybe there's 10, 20 Eagles fans in town. Maybe we can start getting together. And then I started the page in 2016, and then after that, like it started out slow, but like the past like 2 years, it's just started blowing up. I've got 6,700 people that are liking my page, and I realize not all of them are that live in Salt Lake, and
Sure.
a lot of them are from but still pretty mind blowing to see that much support that come out of Utah. There's a
Yeah,
lot more than I thought there was for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it all of a sudden I started seeing your page pop up on my feed, and I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I was wondering how you heard about it.
Yeah, yeah, right. So, I mean, it's funny. Joe and I, we're we've Joe has the history of being in this world, and we're starting this and just going out and trying to find every way possible to get our name out there.
Right.
So it was exciting to see you come across as well as Mike from the Eagles Nest, and to see like some of your people that are in that group that are actually taking the time to watch Joe and I. So we really, really appreciated it, and we wanted to make sure that we brought you on.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, for
Bill, we
sure.
appreciate your time, man. Before we let you go, you got a prediction for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's going to be. It's hard to say. I want to say Eagles 28, Chiefs 17.
Okay, so
Okay.
an 11-point victory. And that'll preclude any kind of Patrick, last minute heroics, or at least having the ball and driving down the field with less than a one score game in the fourth quarter. So I'll take that. I don't know if I can deal with that angst. I mean, I've dealt with it before, but I'd rather have an 11-point win, 15-point win. But I mean, the Chiefs, they win these close games.
Right. They pull it out somehow, man.
They do pull it out. They got players that play. They elevate their game in crunch time, and they got coaches that they're on flat, but they don't flinch.
Right.
Guys you never heard of and never will hear again of in a couple of years, just making plays. Like where's Kadarius Toney these days? He had the longest punt return in the history, and had a touchdown on that corn dog play. And Giants cut him earlier in the year. They just pick up guys. It doesn't matter. You come in, it's like put on these pinstripes. You put on that uniform. Your play is already elevated.
Right. And then I've been seeing around on social media that like Jalen Carter might be questionable because he's sick or something like that. And I was like, there's no way he's missing
fine.
this game.
He was a full participant in practice yesterday. He's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, he's fine that he practiced. I know there was a thing going around, but I think it's been.
Yeah. There's also been, Joe, there was a rumor going around. I heard it on Radio Row that apparently they might have been trying to keep him from the press.
No, he's been in the league for a couple of years.
Hey, listen, I know. I'm just saying.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever.
I know.
Every week he does interviews.
I know.
I don't know.
Thing happened a couple of years ago, and he could just like poo-poo it. When Greg Olson got to the Super Bowl with Carolina, they asked him about the Seventh Floor Crew. Remember that crew in Miami that made that song that on the internet out there, and he just kind of went like, "Yeah, I'm not talking about that."
What do you guys hear about BG? Is he going to be
activated today?
Nice.
He's active. Old man BG. I saw him with a beard. He's got the grays coming in, and it looked like Uncle Remus there. But if he can another strip sack at a clutch time, let's do it.
Strip sack for the win.
Right. That was the same arm that he hurt. Was the same arm he stripped Brady off.
Yeah.
I just saw a Brady and Nick Foles commercial today. It was cute.
It was very good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. Is it pretty funny?
Josh, do yourself wait. Because I was kind of bummed that I already saw it. I would have rather waited to actually see it during the game.
It just popped up on my thing before I came in the room. I was like,
well, unfortunately now it's going to pop up on Josh because we talked about it.
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It is pretty good.
I'll avoid my phone until tomorrow then. How about that?
Yeah, right? Yeah, no, it's good. I love that Tom has now he's finally he acknowledged it during a game. And
he can have fun with it. I mean, he's having fun with it. Yeah,
absolutely. So
he's got 7 rings. He's fine.
Yeah, he's real good.
He's pretty confident.
Yeah, it was funny. One time, it was probably about 6-7 years ago. It was Christmas Eve. We were having our Christmas party here, and me and my brother ran out of beer, so we went to Walgreens to get some more. And guess who we bumped into?
Tom Brady.
The owner of the Patriots.
Robert Kraft.
Yeah, Robert Kraft was there.
Was there a massage? Was there a massage parlor in the area?
You know what was funny about that is he was there with this chick, and we were like, that's Robert Kraft. What the hell? I'm like, no, it's not. And I pulled it up on my phone. I'm like, no way, it is. That's him.
Yeah.
So we kind of walk around the aisles, and I'm like, hey, is your name Robert Kraft?
He was at Walgreens. He was at Walgreens.
He's in Walgreens. There's a Bentley parked outside. Yeah,
drop Bentley.
Yeah, I assume he was up here skiing or something for the holidays or whatever. But there was this chick with him, and she didn't seem too fond of being seen with him. And he's like, "Yeah, this is my love," blah blah blah. And we were like, "Yeah, cool, right on, whatever."
And she was kind of like
she was avoiding us and looking at stuff. Yeah, it was funny. I got pictures of it too.
Oh boy, maybe she was already taken and didn't want her pictures showing up on the internet or something. That's funny.
Possibly.
That's good stuff. I like that. That's a good story.
I asked him. I was like, you know how sick everybody in the NFL is of Tom Brady, right? It's just time for him to go. And he was like, yeah, I keep hearing that.
I was the only one who liked him in Philly. I got killed for liking him down here. I just thought it was great watching him play, as long as it wasn't against us.
Right.
And we took care of him. I know he got us in 2000. Was it 3? But we had to wait a while, but we got ours. And this would be another opportunity to take down a giant.
Yeah.
Be pretty
Yeah.
cool. Be pretty cool if they knock off Brady and Mahomes twice in 8 years.
Well, what's going to happen, man? There ain't going to be no three-peat. I'll tell you that.
I don't think so either. It's really hard to win one, let alone three, and they've already won 3 in 4 years. It's,
Right. Right.
really tough to do. Everything has to go right, and one thing goes wrong, and
Yeah.
they're
Right.
out. You know what I mean? It's going to be that close. These games come down to a few plays here or there, a few moments.
Right.
Galen doesn't
Right.
fumble the ball last time, and the Eagles probably win.
Well, and just judging by the game that I saw against Buffalo in the championship, man, I mean, those calls were insanely questionable.
See, I like
Like,
the fact that it's become a thing, and even Roger Goodell had to address it at his press conference. So knowing it's out there, I'm not sure if I think all eyes are on the refs. I think that might work in the Eagles' favor.
yeah, I agree. I agree because the whole world's going to be watching.
The whole
Even
world's going
President,
to be watching.
even President Trump's going to be there.
Right. That's right. Is Trump going to the game?
Gonna do the
Yeah.
50-yard line walk.
Yeah, maybe,
Halftime?
maybe. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Who's doing halftime, by the way? I don't usually get into that, but
Kendrick Lamar.
who's that
Nobody
by?
cool. Kendrick Lamar.
Oh,
Nobody
okay,
cool.
got it. I saw him at the Grammys. Okay, got it.
Yeah, do some Metallica or AC/DC or something.
I like where your head's at, Josh.
Yeah, right. But hey, you guys got to do me a favor. So I created a new drinking game. Tomorrow, every time the camera pans to Taylor Swift, you got to take a shot.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm going to ask
Oh,
Josh.
yes, this is perfect.
Do you know what the over/under is for prop bets on how many times the network shows her?
I would assume very high.
Take a guess.
I would say they're going to pan to her at least 12, 13 times.
Then you should take the over because it's 5.5.
Really?
Yep,
Yeah.
5.5.
Hmm.
Yep, 5.5. To be honest, I gotta be honest. To be fair, the amount of time she's on during the game, and I know she gets hammered for just everyone's like, not only we're Chiefs fatigued, we're Taylor Swift fatigued. She's only on an average of 28 seconds per game. If you can believe that.
That's a lot more than any sideline player.
Oh, it is. Trust me, it is. But she's a megastar.
Yeah, you can't hate on her for that. That's for sure.
No, and she's from around this area. She's from Reading. That's like a half hour away.
Yep.
All right.
I'm still a fan, but
Yeah,
Josh,
I'm
we
still-
appreciate you coming on, bro.
All right. Anytime. I'll
Go
be glad to
Birds.
come back on.
You will.
Oh,
We'll
good.
have you back
Abby.
on, bro.
Absolutely, Josh.
Appreciate it, guys.
Have a good one,
All right.
bud. Thanks,
Birds.
man.
You too.
Take care, pal.
Later.
I have a parlay for you, Joe. I want to know what you think of it.
Sure. I don't like
All right.
parlays in general because they're sucker bets, but go ahead.
All right, so this is $10 bet wins $105.
Okay.
Saquon Barkley, yes, anytime touchdown scorer. Philadelphia Eagles plus 1.5 point spread. Dallas Goedert over 49.5 receiving yards. Kareem Hunt over 43.5 rushing yards.
Absolutely not.
Right?
You have to win the game or you lose the other three. I mean, you have to win the side. The Eagles have to cover the spread. That's a big deal.
Here's another one for you. Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown. Eagles plus 1.5. Dallas Goedert, 49.5. Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns. It's plus 700.
Plus 700. See, Patrick doesn't throw a lot of, well, that's an interesting one if it's plus 700. I'd consider that. How much do you have to lay down?
$10 wins 70.
Okay, interesting. You still got to win
Yeah,
that
this is
side.
on BetParks. I was just kind of
The
looking
side
at
is
it.
what draws you in, and the side is where they got you because you lose the side, you lose everything else. But
Yeah.
interesting. And
I was thinking about. I was like, maybe we'll mess around. We'll pick one of these parlays.
do you have to pick their party? Can you do your own?
I don't know.
I think you can do your own. They probably let you. What's that?
This is my first time.
They probably let you. Listen, for $10, knock yourself out. You know what I mean? When I
Right.
say they're sucker bets and they're dangerous, I mean if you're like, laying down like
Yeah. Right.
three
If I was
thousand.
Charles Barkley,
If your unit's like Charles Barkley's, yeah, don't do that. But for $10, go have some fun, man.
right? Right. Yeah.
Because at the end of the
It's at,
day,
it's at your hands
rooting,
now.
you
So
get 3 hours to root for all that stuff. That's worth it.
yeah.
That's
All right,
worth it.
Joe, before we go, give me your score.
My score is Eagles 34, Chiefs 27.
I have them Eagles 38, Kansas City 24.
I like your score better. I would like that score a lot better. 2 touchdown win. Man, because if you thought the Rams game was, when was that? You were over for the Rams game? Yeah, this is tomorrow. I'm already out of
No,
sorts.
I was over for the Commanders.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Commanders. That's right. The Commander, the game, the NFC title game. And
Mhm.
that actually got some separation in the second half. We got to
Yeah.
a little bit,
And
which is,
I don't know. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I think the Eagles are going to, the Eagles are going to be the Eagles. It's going to be a close game and going
yeah,
into
it's
halftime.
if it goes by the way that it usually goes, it'll be close here and there, and they'll do some things that'll make you pull your hair out. But then you look up at the end of the game, and they're up by, like, you know what I mean? Like
Right. It wouldn't surprise me halftime. It's 24-24.
yeah, I can see that.
And
I got
then
to
the
tell you
Eagles.
though, watch the coin flip. I think it's imperative for whoever team wants to win or is going to win that they win the coin flip so they can defer. I think getting the ball in the second half is really important. In fact, if you are supposed to get the ball in the second half and you do score first, the odds are, I think it goes up to 65% that you win the game.
Wow. Okay.
Just getting that ball, because you could, who knows what happens in the first half. You might get the ball at the very end of the half and score, and then you get the ball at the beginning of the second half. You might have a double, back to back right there.
Right.
So I think that's important. The Eagles lost the toss last time. They did score first, and then Chiefs went right down the field and scored. And they were up 10 and a half, and the Chiefs got the ball in the second half, scored when they got the ball. Of course, they scored on every possession in the second half. I had to put myself through watching the game again. It was on. I sat down this morning with my coffee. I turned on NFL network, and there it is. There it is. Had to sit through it, but I did because I wanted to see some nuances. And I mean, I've watched the game 1,000 times,
Yeah.
and there's still some good stuff to make, But the whole Greg Olson went bananas when Bradbury got called for the hold.
Oh
He
yeah. I
even went
remember.
against Mike Pereira, who was the official in the box, and he said, "That's a hold." He goes, "Come on, Mike. That's in that
Yeah.
situation. You gotta kind of know where you are, know the room." But it was a grab and it was a hold. Normally, in a normal game, they might have called it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be really killing anybody, and I still wasn't, because yes, it was the only holding call of the game from a defensive secondary standpoint. But it was a hold. It's hard to argue that. You know what I mean? Like everyone says, well, they hold on every play. Well, show me the other plays then, because I don't know that. I'm sure it happens a lot, but this one play, and maybe they threw it because it was such a critical play. You know what I mean? Instead of
Mhm.
saving it, hey, this is really an important play. We're not going to let something go here.
Yeah.
So I don't think he would have caught the ball anyway. It was overthrown. And I got a lot of people texting me and hitting me up that, well, it was uncatchable. Well, guess what? You can only call an uncatchable on an interference call. On a holding call, you cannot. It's not an option for the refs. So just know that going into tomorrow. And they had 6 penalties in that game. Chiefs only had 3. They had double penalties than the Chiefs had. Just saying. Not, but the bigger penalty in that game was Isaac Seumalo on a 4th-and-1 tush push when the Eagles were driving up 7. Gets called for illegal procedure. Move it back 4th-and-6 now, and then Jalen fumbled because they couldn't do the tush push. There's talk now. I don't know if you saw that they're going to review it this off season and see they might look to get rid of the tush push again.
Yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
I could see them. I could see them
Team that
splitting.
does it really, really well. So
I could see him splitting the baby and saying you're allowed to do it twice in a game or something like that, or not at all. Because I've also seen some experts and pundits say that they won't get rid of it. But a lot of it has to do with, listen, it's a television show. Football's a television show. Baseball's a television show. They've changed rules to Makes the game look better. Look, the shift. Why can you not put all the guys on one side of the field in baseball? You didn't break any rules, right? Because they don't want to see Bryce Harper lining out to, the right fielder all the time, or they want to see him. They want to see that ball land. They want to see it go in the corner. They want to see him, hit for average, drive runs in. They get rid of things that are kind of anti-progressive to the game. That's the only reason I think they would get rid of it. Is that it's unaesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I mean, I love it because it's like almost automatic.
Automatic. I mean, it's funny. It's interesting. So that game was on last night when Michelle and I.
It's been on for like 2 weeks. I know.
And watching the tush push and seeing how much yards Jalen was actually diving more than was digging deeper in.
Sometimes that goes for 3 yards.
Yeah, and he was picking up a lot of yards. So it doesn't surprise me. Like I said, there's one team that does it really, really well. And they use it a lot because they do it really, really well.
Really, really well.
So, I mean, it doesn't shock me. It doesn't. It is what it is. I mean, whatever. You want to take that away? Fine.
Well, it's pretty important to the team. They've gotten a lot.
Sure, absolutely. But, I mean, luckily they're not going to be taking it away tomorrow. So
no, they still have it for tomorrow.
Yeah, so
we should be good there. Although I've seen them fumble the snap a couple times through the last few years. Like, got to be careful on that.
Game, if you're
and don't jump.
No.
Like Lane Johnson jumped against the Rams when that game could have been put away earlier.
Yep.
Got to be up here.
Game, man. It's got to be a perfect game tomorrow. And I think
mistake. What's that, Bo?
I think it's going to be a good game. I keep on going back to what Rick said, where Rick is going to allow like one mistake, one interception.
That's about right. Sure.
It's going to hurt him. So, yeah, I feel confident. I feel very, very good with the 38-24. I think it's going to be tight in the beginning, but then I think eventually the Eagles are just going to play their game. They're going to wear them down, and they're going to, and it wouldn't shock me if they score one offensive touchdown and then like Patrick's driving down and it's an interception to run it back.
I thought of that too. That hasn't happened since 2 Christmases ago when the Raiders had a pick six against them. But I'm seeing it on a late drive. I told you, like maybe a ball gets tipped up and either Bond or Blankenship comes down with it.
I'd say I'm going to go with the Cooper DeJean pick six.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
I would love to.
I
would love to see Quinion Mitchell.
Yeah. I don't care.
I mean, because then we'll have to get G on immediately.
Right? Exactly.
Remember what I said?
Mm-hmm. He did.
He's got 2 interceptions in the playoffs. So
he does. They're nosy around the ball, and they've been taught to how to strip and how to gang tackle and fly to the ball. So it's going to be. I think it's going to be a good game, and I agree. If they play Eagles football, they don't have to be perfect, but they do wear teams down. They do wear teams down, and eventually Barkley may have a very pedestrian game, but every time he gets the ball, there's a threat of him getting past the first line. He's gone.
Yep.
And he does a lot in the second half too. And see, they don't use him a ton in the first half, and maybe feel out the Chiefs a little bit. Maybe throw some Jalen in there, do some things you don't expect. So then the second half, you don't exactly know what's coming, but I think everyone knows what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get a decent taste of 26 in the second half.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm
excited too. Great week of stuff, bro. I'll put
this up. You as well. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I'm going to put this up on YouTube and audio and Apple and Spotify right now, bro. So you enjoy.
Yeah, and then I got to put last night's show, so I'll put 2 up.
Okay, bro. Good luck. I'll be texting you during the game, and go Birds.
Yep. Go Birds.
All right. Appreciate you folks for watching. We'll talk to you on the other side.